Hello, I'm Dr. Mountain. Welcome to the farm where I grew up. There's Janice back there. She's feeding the horses. You can see some of our free-range chickens back over there. Here is a Liberty apple tree. These apples apparently don't require the same number of pesticides or herbicides, and they're really yummy, really good to eat. Hi, pal. Hey, buddy. Oh, you want this apple, don't you?
Yes.
So here, I'm going to show you my mom's garden. Now, don't judge it in October. It's at the end of the season. But this garden played a big part in my interest in naturopathic medicine. I didn't really like to weed the garden, but I knew it was necessary. But I sure like to learn about the herbs and plants and things. So this time of year, I'll show you a little bit over here in a bit, but even this is goji berry. Now, goji berry you can eat right off the tree. You'll see why Dr. Gundry doesn't like it, because you can see its resemblance to the nightshade family. I think it is in the nightshade family, so he doesn't like it, but it's mildly sweet. And when you buy goji berries in the grocery store, you'll see they're dried and they're actually quite sweet then. But it's a very proliferative plant. It grows really well for my mom here. And then raised beds, there's some Swiss chard, and I'd have to squish the leaf to be able to tell from here, but this looks like, she tries to keep the chickens out. This looks like maybe mint. Oh, lemon balm, Melissa officinalis. So yeah, so many of these plants I learned about. Apple trees around. This is elderberry over here. These are some type of onion or chive. This is mullein, verbascum. We use that in tinctures for sore throat and things like this. This is an elderberry tree. You can see this is where the little berries would have been on there, and of course the flower originally. Hey, pal. I think this is dill here. You don't like to eat dill, do you? I think that's what it is. So, pretty neat stuff. Okay, so here's the carrot patch, and I was saying don't judge my mom's garden, but when you thin carrots, do you want to hang on to those, Josh?
Oh, sure.
When you thin them out, look at the size of these things. So we got one down here, still in, and if we pulled this one out, let's see if I can show you here. Oh man, we might need the shovel. Oh, I don't think I can get that. Oh no, without the shovel. Okay, well, you get the idea with the top of it. It will be just as big as these two here. And then here's Mom's kale over there. And then check this specimen that we pulled out. I don't know if they can hear me from talking from behind, but look at the size of that kale. Look, if you flip it over, Kyle, you can even see underneath. Isn't that remarkable? It's just a huge, huge kale plant.
Dad, do you want to come watch?
Sure do, son. When I was young, I sure loved to fish. I'm too old. I don't have a fishing license for this province anymore, so I can't fish here, but the boys sure do enjoy it. And I spent many hours out in this lake swimming, canoeing, even windsurfing. This, by the way, is a very old dugout canoe. That's the remnants of a dugout canoe anyways. And that was used on this lake. Jeremy trying his hand at casting the fishing rod. Okay, don't know if the camera's going to get that straight into the sun there.
Did you get anything? Oh no, something's on. Please again, don't know what
I think you got a weed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a weed, I thought.
Reel it in. Cast it out again. Oh, look at that weed fish.
Here, I got you.
Let's see if you can catch a fish. Okay. Reel a little faster, son, because otherwise the lure will sink down. Okay, now you can see it up close to the top, so let it go down a bit more. Do you still get weeds on it? The fish won't bite when they see weeds daggling along behind the lure.
Dude, just teach me, because I think
Oh, they're giving it a good try. I spent many hours of my childhood out here fishing. I remember the day that I swam all the way across the lake and back. Felt like I swam the English Channel or something like that. But this lake gets fairly warm in the summer, so it's lovely to swim in.
Okay, I'm gonna go find another cat.
All right, buddy.
And then teach me next.
So when I was about 8 years old, my dad switched from crop farming because these pastures here are very rocky, and there used to be rock fences all along there that the previous owner of this particular land pulled them all out. So switched from crop farming to, here they go, there's a few of them, to bison, to buffalo farming. And then grass can grow up. We don't have to cultivate the fields. And now the land can grow pasture, and that pasture in return grows livestock. So here's just a small bunch of them. I'll show you a bigger bunch of them later on the other side. It's okay, guys. There's some of the herd back there. Okay, here we are checking the buffalo, and you can see them out there behind me, I hope, on the camera. Now, I've worked with buffalo most of my life, so you can see how far away I am from them. They can run as fast as a horse, and if you look, the fence is just right there. So if we need to get over the fence, we don't have far to run. Pretty soon they're going to come up to this corral over here for water. We might be able to get closer to them. Okay, here we are. We took the truck so we can get closer to the buffalo. Hi guys, it's okay. It's a windy day, so they're a little bit flighty. They don't have any young calves right now, so they're not super protective like they would be some days. I don't know if you can, I don't want to look at the camera too much and get caught by surprise, but I don't know if you can hear that. They make a grunting sound. They don't make a mooing sound like cows do. Okay, now this is the big bull here. He's just all peaceful by himself. We don't want to upset him. Having a mid-morning nap. Hey, big guy. He is not a soft, cuddly bear, though. We are right at the truck here. If we need to get in quickly, oh, here he's moving. Hey, buddy. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Oh, man. He's a good-natured big boy. Hi, buddy. This is the cabin where I studied for my licensing exams. I spent the several months back in here. Right at this little table here. And look at my view when I needed a study break. This plant here is called Goldenrod. You can see it has yellow flowers. When it's fully in bloom, it has bright yellow flowers. The Latin name is Solidago or Solidago. Here it is, past its prime now. It's overbloomed, and it was very fascinating for me in school to learn that this plant, which grows all over in fields and perimeters of the forest and things like that, that it actually has medicinal properties. I have tinctures for it at work that you could use it to help drain sinus congestion and things like a head cold or something like that. So yeah, it was a really fascinating thing for me to learn in school, that this plant that I just walked by so often in the fall and never paid any attention to it, that actually has a use. So growing up on a farm, I looked forward to the next fruit or vegetable that would come in stock. Maybe strawberries would be one of the first. And I knew that food didn't just come from a grocery store. So we're in October now and a Thanksgiving weekend. So grapes are one of the last things. So here's a sample of some wild grapes up here. You can see them up there. Dark purple ones. But they have big seeds in them, but they taste just like grapes. Tiny bit sour. Some people say a frost might help that out. I'm not a grape farmer, so I don't know, but a little bit sour, but still quite tasty. And one of the last fruits, I think, to really come ready in the wild. So there you go, some wild grapes. Okay, so here we are, mushroom picking. Now, do not try mushroom picking unless you know exactly the species you're picking and you can identify it and you know it's not poisonous, because there are poisonous species. So here we've got some of our mushrooms and we have our backup. We've made our identification in my trusty mushroom book. And look at all of these mushrooms. There are so many of them in here. Last night we found a horse mushroom. Look at the size of this thing. And what was so interesting is this is called the veil, and it was completely covering the gills. So the veil went right out to the edges all the way around. And this morning when we got up and we saw it, the veil had broken off and exposed the gills. So we're going to cut this up and try it for lunch. I think that's one of the bigger mushrooms I got, other than puffballs. So as always, be careful when you're picking mushrooms, that you make the right identification, that you don't get a poisonous one. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Just a small glimpse of what it was like where I grew up on the farm as a child. I believe in many ways that life prepared me for a lot of what I do today. It started with developing responsibility. Responsibility not only to drive farm equipment and machinery and tractors and things like that, but responsibility for animals. Taught me the value of water. You could see there was a small lake on our property and fresh water and protecting that. It taught me where food comes from. It taught me to value food and that things grown locally go on a cycle. Things don't grow in the wintertime unless you had a greenhouse. So in many ways, I believe it was the foundation of my interest in naturopathic medicine and health in general. So I hope that was fun. And yes, we grew up on a bison farm. My dad used to grow crops and have some cattle, but the soil was so rocky. Every time the fields were cultivated or plowed, so many stones come up. And the joke in where my parents are from is the land is conducive to growing stones, not crops. But it's very well suited to grow grass because you don't have to till the ground. And that was a very eye-opening, paradigm-shifting process to go through and learn that different places in the earth might grow some things better than the other. Of course, we know that with corn or bananas don't grow in Canada or this kind of thing, but it was really neat to learn and maximize that area for growing grass, which can then grow animals. So I believe it started a lot of my education even before I knew it was starting my education. Well, that'll be a wrap for today. My practice in Airdrie has been very, very busy. So as I've said before, my priority is always to my practice and my family. But when I can, I will make more videos like this. So if you could, please like and subscribe.